So hello everybody, you're very welcome to FORUM Connemara's Want to Work project launch. So delighted to see so many familiar faces and also new faces. So it's great that so many people are taking an interest in this. And just to introduce myself, my name is Kathy Kane and I'm a project worker with the programme, and I'll be your MC for this event. And I would like to begin by warmly welcoming Minister Anne Rabbitte, and she's the Minister for State at the Department of Children, Equality, Disability, Integration and Youth. And she's kindly agreed to officially launch our project today. So we have a couple of apologies from Hildegard Naughton, Minister of State, and Eamon O'Keefe, TD as well. Unfortunately, they can't be with us today, but I'm so delighted to see so many people here. Now, I'm going to give you just a quick flavour of our agenda. And we'll be starting with an opening address by the chair of FORUM Connemara, and that's Mr. Terry Keenan. And this will be followed by a background and outline of the Want to Work project, which will be presented by my two Want to Work colleagues, Yvonne Kane and Adam Delap. And then we're going to hear from Daniel, Lorraine and Kiefer. They're our participants on the Want to Work programme, and they have kindly agreed to join us and share what they would like to achieve by participating on this project. Then it's over to Damian Manning, and he is the owner of Head's Hairdressing Salon in Clifton, and he will be sharing his experience of supporting people with disability in the Connemara region as both an employer and a trainer. This will be then followed by Mairead Mohan, and she's in Pobble, and she's going to give us an overview as to how dormant accounts funding provided through the Minister Humphrey's Department of Social Protection is supporting people with disabilities to upskill with education and training opportunities and in gaining employment. So, and then finally, I will ask Minister Anne Rabbitte to address us and formally launch our project. So that's what we're planning to do this afternoon. Just one piece of housekeeping. On entry, you're all put on mute, and I would ask those who are invited to speak to remember to unmute yourself and turn on your camera if you already haven't done that. So that's the only little bit of housekeeping there for you. So without further ado, as I said, you're all very, very welcome. And I now would like to invite our first speaker, and that's Terry Keenan, who is our chair of FORUM Connemara, just to welcome you. Over to you, Terry.
Thank you, Kathy. On behalf of FORUM Connemara, I would like, first of all, to welcome the Minister and thank her for taking time out of our busy schedule to launch this programme. The objectives of the Want to Work is to support people with disabilities, to improve their employment outcomes, and to support employers to provide employment for people with disabilities. This programme follows on from the Ability programme, which ran from 2018 to 2021 and supported 61 individuals. FORUM has a long history of supporting people with disabilities and their families, dating back to the Poverty 3 programme in the early 90s, through CDP and the LCDP programme. Several parents groups were supported, and through the support of FORUM Connemara, the vision of Connemara therapeutic riding was identified, and this was brought to fruition. This, Minister, is the very essence of community-led local development, CLLD, where local people and communities identify issues within their community and solve them. When the bottom-up approach is facilitated by the state, working together with local development companies such as FORUM, we can achieve great things. I suppose, to quote Albert Einstein, everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. In recognizing the need for a dedicated programme to support people with disabilities, I would hope that the government funding given for the Ability programme and now the Want to Work programme can be put on a more permanent basis. I acknowledge, Minister, your support in this area and hope that together our vision of long-term support for people with disabilities can be achieved.
Thank you, Terry, for that. Okay, so now I'm going to ask my colleagues, Yvonne Kane and Adam Delap, to give you the background to the development of this project and then an overview of the Want to Work project. So over to you, Yvonne. first.
Thanks, Kathy, and welcome everybody. Well, FORUM Connemara CLG is a rural development partnership company comprised of statutory and voluntary bodies, and it operates a whole range of social, economic and environmental programmes in the Connemara area. For example, the LEADER programme, Youth Adolescent Support programme, Family and Carer Support, Employment Activation Schemes, Rural Recreation Scheme and farming programmes. And as Terry mentioned, FORUM was one of the 27 ability projects nationally, and when that funding was coming to an end, the ability projects liaised closely with Minister Rabbitte and Minister Humphreys to secure dormant accounts funding, which is administered by PUBL, to allow the work with people with disabilities to continue in Connemara and other areas. So this project, the dormant account funded project called Want to Work, it will have a core training element designed to deliver workplace related training, and it will focus on work experience as a means of employment activation, as well as providing support to employers. And the key to the success of the Ability and Want to Work programmes is the locally led community-based structure of FORUM Connemara, which involves strong statutory and voluntary partnerships coupled with local knowledge and buy-in from employers. And this results in a collaborative approach to addressing the needs of people with disabilities in Connemara. And now my colleague Adam Delap will present a slideshow which shows the programme in more detail. Thanks.
Thanks, Yvonne.
Thanks very much, Yvonne. And hello to everybody in attendance. If you just bear with me 2 seconds and I'll share my screen with you and we'll go through a short slideshow which should show the programme in a bit more detail. One of FORUM Connemara's newest programmes, the Want to Work project, aims to support people with disabilities or mental health conditions to improve their employment, education, training and volunteering opportunities. This will be achieved through the provision of core employment skills training such as manual handling, health and safety, COVID induction training and a bespoke online employment skills programme. Want to Work will also offer industry tailored training such as SafePass, First Aid and HACCP. This core employment skills training will then be followed by work experience placements in the local community for participants wishing to gain experience in a real work environment. The project already has a number of partners committed to providing placements. These include Clan Family Resource Centre, Connemara Community Radio, Wild Goat Cafe, Colmarabbey and Clifton Town Hall. In addition, the project will provide person-centred job coaching, which will explore participants' interests and abilities in order to identify individual progression objectives. For example, completing a bespoke training course at Connemara Community Radio, undertaking a placement on a local working farm, gaining independence and access to employment through learning to drive, training in industries such as hairdressing and catering, or volunteering with local charities such as Madra Dog Rescue. To be eligible for supports offered through the programme, individuals must be aged 18 plus, live in Connemara and have a disability or mental health condition. A second strand of the project will involve the Want to Work team working with local employers with the aim of increasing disability awareness and the numbers of people with disabilities in the local workforce. This will involve a number of key facets, including a collaboration between FORUM Connemara and the Disability Federation of Ireland to provide local employers with online disability awareness training. Engaging with local employers through online focus groups and events in the community to create awareness around the benefits of employing people with disabilities. And finally, supporting local employers to access existing grant aid pertaining to the employment of people with disabilities, which are currently provided through the Department of Social Protection. The Want to Work project is approved by government and is funded through the Dormant Accounts Fund. The project will run until the end of December 2022, and for more information, please visit forumconnemara.ie.
Okay, thank you very much, Adam Yvonne, for that piece. We're now going to actually show you a promotional video which was commissioned by FORUM Connemara on the Food Cloud project, which was made by Daniel Kane, who was one of our participants on Ability. However, please bear in mind that the full quality does not transfer perfectly through Zoom. But if you would like to view this and other videos that he has produced, please go to the FORUM website. So Adam, I'll ask you just to show Daniel's video, please, and we'll see some of his good work.
The COVID-19 virus is impacting on all aspects of society, but FORUM is responding to the new needs in our community. FORUM is operating a food cloud service which organises food parcels for people experiencing disadvantage. A list of goods available each week are sent to customers who then order their products with a small charge on some items. People can collect their parcels in Letterfrack, or there are deliveries made in Renville and Clifton areas throughout the week. FORUM Connemara, our community, our passion.
Okay, so I'm Daniel. I just wonder, are you with us? Are you online?
Indeed. Hello, Kathy. How are you?
How are you doing, Dan? So you're very welcome to the launch. And Daniel, just wonder, would you share your experience with us of participating on the Ability project?
Yeah, of course. So last year I graduated from GMIT. I did honours in film and documentary, and along the way, FORUM Ability in the program offered driving lessons and to pay for the theory and the actual lessons themselves. I found that particularly useful when I was in college, and I didn't really have the time for, say, maybe to be at home and organizing these things. And especially, I knew that the route I wanted to go was freelancing, and my services would be around the country. So I knew I wasn't going to be stationary just in Connemara. And being in Connemara, it's an essential thing that you need to drive. So I was incredibly grateful to be able to actually have those lessons set up and ready to go as soon as I was finished my degree. And to be honest, I've been so happy with them so far. So very good.
Oh, brilliant, Daniel. So Dan, you talked about starting self-employment, and what are the supports you think you'll need going forward that you think Want to Work could offer you?
Yeah, well, for me anyways, the filmmaking itself is covered by GMIT, I think. So it's more or less the business aspect and how to manage a business, for say, and taxes, things like that. Just something that maybe as someone with a disability like myself, numbers and things like that kind of go a bit over my head. So I think the idea of having someone explain and break down how to pay your taxes, being registered as a sole trader, things like that, it's just something that I don't have to worry about in the long run. And I think it's important that someone who mightn't be as confident like myself going into a field like this has that support. So again, it's just something that's just useful to have there, and I'm really grateful for. Oh,
well, Daniel, thanks very much. We wish you the very best, and well done with the videos you produced, and we look forward to seeing the ones that you will produce in the future. So look forward to working with you on Want to Work. Now, I'd like to introduce Lorraine Cunningham, who is another Want to Work participant who received vocational training through Ability and is now employed part-time in Head's hairdressing salon in Clifton. So Lorraine, are you with us? Are you online? Is Lorraine with us? Yeah. Hi, Lorraine. Hi, how are you? Thanks so much, Lorraine, for joining us. You're brilliant. Thank you. Lorraine, so can you just tell us what support you actually did receive from FORUM Connemara on the Ability project first, maybe?
Yeah, I done training with Damian, and it got me employed for a day a week in the salon. And I also done some massage courses and eyebrow things as well, which I was really interested in, and I got a lot of confidence from it.
Yeah, it's all part of the beauty industry, really, isn't it? So yeah, great. So joining us on the Want to Work, the next stage, as we call it, you know, what do you hope we can do to support you? What would you like to happen as part of Want to Work?
I suppose I don't know, just learn more, and it's given me a boost to something I wouldn't have done myself, and it's really benefited me a lot.
And you're also interested in learning to drive as well. Is that one of your goals? So that definitely would be something that I know you've said that you'd be interested in doing. So maybe through this program we can offer that. So we wish you the very best, Lorraine, and thank you very much for joining us, because I know you're not actually in the area at the moment. So appreciate you coming online to talk to us here. Thank you.
Okay.
Our next speaker is even further afield. Hello, Mr. Damian Manning. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Yes.
Damian, you're actually, as I mentioned, the owner of Head's Hairdressing Salon, and you've very kindly taken the time out to join us, because I know you are abroad taking a well-deserved break. So, Damian, you know, what has been your experience?
Look, come here.
Sorry?
Okay. Sorry if I'm breaking up here. It's been actually a wonderful experience, because I've experienced it from two ends. A bit of a unique perspective, because on one hand I'm an employer of Lorraine, who and then on the other hand I was involved in the training aspect of the ability program to be able to upskill Lorraine in her chosen profession. So it was a really unique insight to be able to tailor make a bespoke course around someone's strengths and weaknesses. Also to design a working program in which she could then bring to her schedule of employment, and then work with whatever weaknesses might exist, so that if that means that after an hour or so of standing up you need to sit down for 10 minutes, then you can schedule these things in as a consequence of tailor making the training you're giving the participant, so that when they go into the workforce that they're able to work with their weaknesses, not hide it, not be ashamed of it or anything else, but to allow it to be there. And also the Great Ability program enabled that technology could be used along with a person's participant in the working environment. So, for example, we've looked into technology to help the phone systems that might work with hearing aids. We're continuing in that vein, but I think it really is a great program, because like Lorraine is such an exceptional candidate on the ability program, I have to say, because nothing will be too big a hurdle for Lorraine to overcome in terms of her desire and this career choice that she has, you know, in the beauty industry. So she's a wonderful candidate, that nothing will be too big a hurdle for her to reach her goals. And I'll say that about her, that ability gave her wings over a few of them hurdles at least. You know, it has moved her on in her skills in her dressing and her belief in herself, which was a tremendous thing to see in a person, is to come in and their self-belief to have grown so much. Lorraine is, she also adds greatly to the working team. She's a cornerstone in the environment that's so important in a good salon atmosphere. She's a cornerstone in that working environment. So the ability program has really worked for Lorraine, and I think going forward for other people with varying degrees of ability, that the opportunity to have bespoke training, for opportunity to the support in and out of it, is a wonderful, wonderful program to offer. And I can only applaud it, and applaud you all for participating in it, because I think you're doing a great job.
Damian, thank you so much for that kind words. And we look forward to working with you on the Want to Work program in the coming year. And thank you for taking the time out from your break to speak with us. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd now like to ask to meet Kiefer and Jean Mullen. Hello, Kiefer and Jean. Hello. There are the lovely ladies. How are you doing? Kiefer, I'm going to talk to you first. As a new, you're a new participant on the Want to Work, and you've been able to join us on this program as the age limit that was in place for ability has now been lifted to include people who are over 29 years of age. And so that's a really welcome change. And so I'll start, Kiefer, by asking you, what would you like to achieve on the Want to Work program?
I just want to say something to you, Kathy. It's just that if you look around all around the country, for me, especially because I'm out of the age group, there's always 18 years or younger or up into 20. There's not much opportunity for me for someone who's over the age limit. So Want to Work would be one of the best programs now that is push the age limit up for a person.
That's fantastic, Kiefer. Yeah.
Back to your question. The reason why I want to participate in Want to Work is that it gives an opportunity for someone who has a disability to gain employment in this world. There's not many employers out here that would take a person with disability on work. And for a person with disability, all we want to do is to work. And with Want to Work, one of the best things I have from it is to get experience and to get an opportunity to work, but also that you're given us the freedom to have driving lessons. Because I'm living out in rural Connemara, it's very difficult for me if I want to be able to get from home to work. And for work, I need to be able to have that transportation to get me to and from there on a everyday, daily basis. So Want to Work is giving that opportunity, a very big opportunity to help a person with disability get to and from work.
Kiefer, we look forward to working with you. Really do look forward to working with you in the coming, I know we've only a year-long program, but hopefully we will have longer. And we wish you the best. And thanks for coming on today. Now over to you, Jean, as Kiefer's parent. Why do you think a project or program like this is important for Kiefer and other young people with a disability wishing to seek employment?
Yeah, well, Kathy, first of all, thanks for the opportunity just to be on this Zoom call, and this is very exciting, this up and coming project. I mean, I think the answer to that is really quite simple. It's that, you know, we all need a purpose in life. We all need a focus, and having a job fulfills that need. You know, having a useful role in life and being part of a team, I think, is really something that we all want. However, you know, that transition from school or an educational setting into employment, that, you know, that's a difficult step, I think, for anyone. And I think that this program is ideal in that it'll provide the support required for especially people who have disabilities and mental health issues. It'll give them the support and the confidence to make that transition. And you know, I think FORUM is an ideal position to fulfill that function with its links with the local community and local employers. And so I really am looking forward to this with great expectation, and I'm delighted that this program is taking place. I would just like to also echo something that I think Terry said at the beginning, you know, that just to thank the Minister for bringing this program out, but to say that, you know, it would be really ideal if this would not just be a short-term program, but something that could be continued, because obviously there's a huge need for this. And so hopefully there will be a way to extend this in years to come.
Well, thank you, Jean, and thank you, Kiefer, for joining us at the launch today. And we wish you the very best, Kiefer, in the year ahead, and look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
So now I'd like to invite Mairead Mohan, and who is the development coordinator on the dormant accounts funding with POBL, to join us. And Mairead, we're going to ask her to give us an overview of how dormant account funding is supporting people with disabilities. So Mairead, are you there?
I am, Kathy. Good afternoon to you all. I'm delighted to attend this afternoon's event to launch this initiative by the FORUM. Unfortunately, COVID, I can't be there in person as I'm a big fan of Connemara. I'm a bit jealous of Kiefer there speaking about rural Connemara. It's a really beautiful part of the country. I'd like to start off just saying a thank you to those who've presented so far. It's always great to hear directly from those who's benefiting from the funding, and it does give us a lot of confidence too, as hearing such feedback, especially being involved from an appraisal perspective and as a development coordinator and providing the support thereafter, that this funding is adding value and making a real difference to many lives up and down the country. Just to give you, I suppose, a wee bit of background, and I know you have already touched on this a wee bit, but I suppose over the past almost 2 years, we're very aware of the huge effort organisations have made to ensure that services have continued to be delivered to the most vulnerable in our communities in these very unprecedented times, which has no doubt brought huge challenges. And to continue to support people with disabilities and organisations providing services, the Department of Social Protection, in conjunction with PUBL, launched this initiative to support and improve employment opportunities, including self-employment opportunities for people back in April 2021. The funding has two clear objectives. So the first is to support people with disabilities to access employment, to improve their career progression opportunities in work, and improve the employment outcomes through education and training. The second one then is to support potential employers such as Damian to provide employment for people with disabilities. The timelines for this at the moment, it's a 16-month initiative, so it's rolling out to December 2022, and the department has committed $7 million of funding to this. That is going towards 45 projects nationwide, and that will benefit 2,300 participants. Just from a public perspective, we're continually learning on how we can better our approach in supporting organisations like the Forum. And while we might be seen as a grant-giving body, social inclusion is very much at the heart of what we do, and working towards narrowing the perimeters in access and employment for people with disability is a key part of that work. At our own events, we provide sign language interpreters. We have adapted a plain English approach to all our documents, and peer-to-peer learning for organisations has also proved very beneficial for networking and that continued learning. My colleague Alice sends her apologies today. Unfortunately, she couldn't be with us this afternoon, but we're very much delighted to work with you on the Want to Work area of our project. This clearly aligned with the objectives of the disbursement scheme, as it is designed to promote a more active role in society and increase independence for persons with a disability. And it also promotes social inclusion and assisting people to gain and sustain employment or access education and training to improve their employability. It was a pleasure for PUBL to have worked and learned with you from the past 3 years ability funding, which again, as I've touched on earlier. But a key strength of your current project is that learning and best project practice that you've taken from the ability programme, and also how well you adapted to take account of the employment focus of this current funding measure. You also set reasonable and achievable target of 40 direct beneficiaries, and are implementing a holistic approach that includes 30 employers, 40 families, as well as developing strong linkages with partners, key stakeholders and networking structures that you've successfully built over the past 30 years. So on behalf of myself, my colleagues in PUBL, we wish you the very best for the coming year, and look forward to continuing to work with you and ensure that no one is left behind.
Marie, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us today.
Not at all.
Thank you, lovely meeting you. So now I'd like to invite Minister Rabbitte to address us and formally launch the project. Minister, are you there?
I certainly am, Kathy, thank you.
Oh, there you are. You're very welcome. So appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. So I guess over to you, Minister Rabbitte, for the official part.
All right, thank you very much. And I suppose, as my colleagues that are on the call with me at this stage would know, I know I'm joined by Jerry King out there locally. I know I'm joined by Sean Coyne, Mairead, Farrell, Catherine Connolly. I know Eamon sent his apologies, but some of them know that I'll read a script, which is the speech, the formal part of it, but I might add a little bit as well myself at the end, Kathy. So
thank you.
Hello, everybody. And I want to begin by thanking your CEO, Karen Mannion, as well as the board of FORUM Connemara for inviting me here today for the launch of this very important project, Want to Work. Since my appointment as Minister for Disability, my key objective has been to improve the lives of people with disabilities in a real and practical sense. With my colleagues in government, I am committed to driving real progress in addressing and breaking down the barriers and obstacles to access to fair employment for disabled people. And I think Kiefer addressed that really well in her contribution earlier on. In my own Department of Children, Equality, Disability, Integration and Youth, my officials coordinated the whole of government comprehensive employment strategy for people with disabilities, which provides a platform for government departments, agencies and other parties to work together to improve employment outcomes in a holistic manner. The sad fact is that in Ireland at the moment, a person with a disability is half as likely to be employed as their peers. As Minister, I am very aware of this, and it's something I'm constantly working to address. And it's clear that improving employment rates for people with disabilities is essential. While people with disabilities in their late 20s and early 30s do up in significant numbers, employment rates are still considerably lower than we'd like them to be. The gap widens with age, and from then on, as people with disabilities are often more likely to drop out of employment faster than their counterparts. We have a range of supports and processes in place to engage with and support people with disabilities to identify and then achieve their employment ambitions. As you may know, in July last year, the government launched Pathways to Work 2021 to 2025, an ambitious strategy designed to drive employment as Ireland recovers from COVID. It includes a key commitment to extended targeted employment supports to groups facing particular challenges entering the workplace, including people with disabilities. We need to strengthen our efforts to ensure that people with disabilities can realise their full potential. And we do this by focusing on a person's ability rather than their disability. I was very pleased to see that my colleague, Minister Heather Humphreys, who is responsible for social protection, is providing money through the dormant account fundings for the project being launched here today. The Want to Work project will play an important role in helping to find new employment opportunities. A person-focused initiative is developed to support participants on their journey towards employment, further education, training, volunteering and work experience opportunities. Based on job coaching principles to support their progression, participants will be provided with free practical training, resources and opportunities to educate and empower to take the next steps towards their goals. On a practical level, the Want to Work project provides one-to-one support, mentoring and guidance. It's emphasised personal development, which is critical to building self-esteem and self-confidence. Want to Work project workers and job coaches work in a person-centred way by exploring the ideas, interests, abilities, needs and potential of participants while working with them to identify and set achievable goals and objectives. This project will provide core employment skills, training such as manual handling, health and safety in the workplace, COVID induction training and bespoke World of Work employment skills training programme. Participants will be offered practical industry tailored training in areas such as the Safe Pass, first aid and food safety. We know that employers want to offer meaningful and sustainable employment opportunities, but often need support and guidance to do so. So through the Department of Children, Equality, Disability, Integration and Youth, I provide funding for the employers change service, which provides advice and guidance to support employers in becoming disability confident And I'm pleased to see that aspect of employers' engagement is such a feature on the Want to Work also. And I think it's fantastic that Damian would dial in and tell us his experience of it. And it's fantastic. The Want to Work project workers and job coaches will engage with potential employers to provide this support, increase disability awareness, and to connect job seekers with employers. This is an onus on all of us to care about, engage with issues of improving employment opportunities and meaningful social roles for people with disabilities. The Want to Work project serves as an example of the kind of action that we need and that can be taken, and I'm pleased to be able to support. The Want to Work project will undoubtedly provide a smoother journey for participants towards meeting their full potential and living with greater independence. And I would like to thank the Want to Work team for undertaking this project, and I wish you every success on it. And I think it's important for everyone that's on the calls, because I could actually see there's over 62 participants on the call today, to understand the Trojan work that Karen Manning has done over the last, I would genuinely say, 14 months since I came into office. I'm in office 18 months, but I got to know her in the October. And since that October of 2021, she had me out in Connemara to see firsthand. And she would have met with me, I'd say, every 3 months as a key driving force, not just for FORUM Connemara, not just for the ability program in Connemara, but for a national emphasis on the rights of persons with disabilities participation in the workforce. And she has single-handedly, along with a team of 20 other people, met with me, met with Minister Humphreys. And it's important to say, while Minister Humphreys is not on this call, she has met on a number of occasions. She has provided the officials. But most importantly, not only did she give a listening ear, but she found the mechanism and the funding to help deliver this project. When we're talking about, and I think it's great that Mairead spelt it out there, 45 projects, 2,300 participants. That is phenomenal for a amount of learning that we can take in the next 10 months or 12 months from this, because we don't want it to end just then. We want to find a mechanism of actually creating a route for people with disabilities into employment, but we also want to ensure that we work with employers and also have a proper pathway. And that's what the Want to Work is really, really about. I'm very excited about it. As I say, it doesn't totally fall under within my brief, but down to Karen and her team there has right to the forefront in driving and ensuring that the government have been very committed on this. And I have to thank Minister Humphreys' department for it. I look forward to working with you, because while this project will get up and running and the participants locally will get every opportunity and support, I have no doubt that Karen is on to the next stage of the campaign. So I want to wish you the best, and hopefully over the summer I'll get out there and meet with you. But like for all my colleagues that are joining, and I talk again about Jerry and Mairead, Sean, Catherine and Eamon, who can't be with us, getting this right is critical for us. We want to ensure that persons with a disability have an equal right to participate, regardless of your geography, location in the workforce. And I think this is an absolute fantastic tool that the Ability Programme has launched us into. So thank you all to the coordinators, the leaders, the employers and people who have engaged with it. Thank you for showing us how it can be done, and we at a national level will take this on board.
Thank you so much, Minister, for your taking the time to be in, your kind words. Thank you, and your encouragement. Yes, it is going to be an interesting 12 months, but we don't see it as ending in 12 months. We are going to put our shoulder to the wheel and do our very best, with your help and government's help, to continue this work, because we're only just starting down this road, elements of this road, particularly in working with employers. And it's employers like Damian who are at the pioneering stage of looking at supporting young people with disabilities going forward. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll keep you posted as to how we get on. I'm sure you'll hear from others in the area who will tell you about how the progress of the work is. And at the end of this, we'll invite you back and see what your thoughts are, and maybe give us a bit more encouragement for the next.
Absolutely, Kathy. And can I also say as well, when Daniel was speaking, he talked about entrepreneurship. Like it just doesn't have to be the idea that you go and work for somebody else.
Yeah.
You can also be self-employed and entrepreneurial, and we need to embrace that as well, because people with disability are also very creative, and they need to be supportive. And it was great to hear Daniel's input there. So yeah, I look forward to coming back and talking to you.
Thank you so much. So, well, just I guess it just leaves it to me really to conclude today's proceedings, and thank you all for joining us. On behalf of FORUM Connemara, we'd like to thank you for attending the launch, and we welcome any comments in the comment box that you may wish to leave. And just thank you and good afternoon from here, us all in FORUM Connemara. Thank you. Cheerio.